Hi everybody, my name is Jared Sanger. I'm a coach in Minnesota. I'm currently coaching in Hawley, Minnesota. Um, and I'm just going to give you a quick run through on robot events. Just a heads up, this is going to be a very brief overview of robotevents.com and the REC, the Rec Foundation website. We have much longer session on this from the workshop that we did yesterday on our VexIQ, which is exactly the same process. So if you want more information, go check out the VexIQ workshop from yesterday, and we'll have a lot more information in there. So what I've got pulled up on my screen here is my account. I'm logged into the Robot Events page, and when you log in, first you have to create an account, but when you create an account and log in, you'll be brought to the screen, and you'll be able to see all your teams that you have registered, or if you don't have any teams registered, you'll be able to register teams here. So it's pretty quick and easy if you are new to Vex Robotics. First thing you'll do is grab this little button here and go register a team after you've created your account. And creating your account's pretty easy. You just use your email address and log in and go through that process. It's not any different than creating an account for anything else. So go ahead and create an account, and then if you're ready to add some teams, you choose the program that you're looking for. This session's the Vex Robotics competition, so you'd click on there. Basically go through this and fill out some information and click your way through. If you have multiple teams, you'll be able to click on add another team after you've registered and gone through that process. So lots of stuff in there about your organization that you need to know. Demographics, things like that will come up in the registration process. So another thing to mention, if you are running multiple programs in different schools, for example, if you have a middle school program that's meeting at a middle school in your town, you'll need to create a new organization for your middle school team that's separate from your high school organization. So that's something that a lot of people aren't aware of, but if you're meeting in two different locations and you have two different programs, you technically have two different programs, so you need to register them that way. Go ahead, Brandy.
Yeah. If you are a new coach and you're like, I have no idea what to register, am I separate organizations, am I same organization, I don't even know what program I'm at, you can go ahead and visit robotevents.com/support, and it will give you a list of who your contact person is at the REC Foundation. So I am a team engagement manager at the REC Foundation. So, and there are several of us that our job is literally to assist coaches who have questions and need help. So please feel free to reach out to your REC representative for team engagement if you don't know what to do here.
Okay, the other site I want to show you is the Rec Foundation website. So that's if you type in recf.org, it'll bring you there. This is the full version, but recf.org is the shorthand version to get there, and it'll get you the same site. Lots of stuff in this, lots of library things. There's grant options in here, tons of different resources here. If you're looking specifically for the Vex Robotics competition, you can go to the REC library, go to Vex Robotics competition. It's going to give you a lot of information on competitions, on engineering notebook, design notebooks, that your policies and best practices. The Vex library has a ton of information. So lots of resources here. This is a great website to go check out and navigate. And anything else we should point out there?
No, again, it just goes back to if you have questions about anything about teams or competition, not necessarily about the robots themselves, this is where you're going to go to find a lot of those answers. And again, going back to how Joe was saying, if you get stuck at a spot and you don't know how to register your team, there's actually an article on here that you can go to show you step by step how to register that team.
Yeah, and if you're not sure where it falls into here, you can try typing in registering a team and see if that, there you go, registering a VRC team, and it pops up, and they'll get you there maybe a little quicker than digging through. So there's lots of different topics and the great links and resources in here to go check out. If we go back to our robot events page, this is again where you're going to primarily do register teams for events, add teams. So the other thing I guess I would want to check out or show you on this is if you're looking for a competition to enroll your team into, up here at the top you have competitions. You can go to the Vex Robotics competition Or if you're doing VEX IQ teams, go there, right? But we're doing VRC for this workshop, so we'll go there. And then you can search for events based off of regions where they're located. There's a little checkbox down here at the bottom where if you want to look for events that only have open spots, because a lot of times they fill up and there's no room. So you can go down and check that out. You can, if you're looking for, oops. We've got a question. The question is, if I live in Texas, is it okay for me to participate in a event in Oklahoma? That's well, I don't know if Oklahoma feels okay with Texas coming up there, but technically the REC has nothing, no problems with that. So yeah.
The only caveat to that one would be that each event has its own event region championship, and you can only qualify for an event region championship if you reside in that event region. So like, if a Texan goes to Oklahoma, they can't earn a spot at the Oklahoma State Championship or at the Texas State Championship by competing outside of their region. So. The other thing to note about registering for competitions here is at any point in time you can search for competitions, but you will not be able to register for a competition until you have paid your annual team registration fee through Robot Events. So that's just an important thing to know, especially for new coaches. The question is, what is the difference between a signature event and a qualifying event?
So a qualifying event is region specific. So there's mainly usually are typically your states, right? So Minnesota has a state tournament. So there's qualifying events that are smaller events, or they could be a big event, but they're within that region and they have a certain amount of slots,
qualifying spots,
qualifying spots that would qualify for that state event. So each tournament will get 4 or 5 of those, depending on how big the tournament is, and your team could be awarded a qualifying spot in your state event. A signature event is wide open. Any team from any state or any country that participates around the world can register for those signature events. And at those events, they give out how many world invites?
It depends on the event and how many how many signature events there are throughout the globe. But the idea is qualifying tournaments qualify you for your region championship. Signature events are direct qualifiers to the World Championship, so they actually hand out world spots, which is pretty cool. And the other cool thing about signature events is that it's usually someplace cool. So right now we're actually at the Mall of America getting ready for a signature event this weekend. So it's not every day you can go to a robotics tournament and ride a roller coaster. So. So the question is, what advice would you give a coach who's trying to get into a tournament, and is it difficult to sign up for tournaments because they might fill up fast?
All right, so when you're looking at tournaments in your area, one thing that you can do is you can go to the competitions again, go to this link, and then you can search map of local events, which is a great place to start to see where people are hosting events or where they have hosted events. And you can kind of plan out your season based on where you want to take your teams. Find out what those dates are, and then when you go into those events, if you let's go to one in Minnesota here. We've got Southland VEX Robotics Tournament. So if I say I want to bring my kids to this team, you'll notice there's an early bird registration period, which is basically protects teams that have not participated in the event. It allows them to get priority in registering for those events. So every team's going to get 3 early bird registrations this year, and I think that's new. I think it was only 1 before. Is that
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you'll have 3 early bird opportunities where you have priority to get into an event where other teams that maybe have participated in multiple events before will be put lower on that priority list. So that's the nice thing. It's great for new teams, gets them in, and it's pretty easy to get into those events. But I would say recommend finding the events that you really want to go to and utilizing your early bird privileges for those events.
And not every region has early bird, so if you have questions about whether or not early bird is available to you, you can reach out to your team engagement manager or your event engagement manager at the RSC Foundation.
All right. Again, if you want, we've got a lot more information in yesterday's section. We spent a lot more time going through all this, so if you want more information, check that out. Otherwise, we're going to shut her down for and get ready for our next session. So, thank you.